I'm discovering more and more that Grandway knives are producing some really standout budget blades. Today we're going to look at one that I think you'll be pretty intrigued by. Let's go. We got us a little bit of drizzle in the forecast today, but I'm pretty dry standing right here. It's just kind of trickling down, and out here in the woods it's not so bad. I've been on a mission lately, and that has been going out to Amazon and looking at budget blades under 20 bucks. I've gone through so many knives. I've looked at so many that it was clear right off the bat that they were garbage. I was not interested in them. I either didn't like the design, or I could tell right off the bat they didn't have any substance to them. But this company Grandway keeps standing out, and I'm pretty fond of just about everything that I'm seeing from them. Them and companies like Cancu as well. Those have been kind of my favorite thus far. Another thing that I'm trying to do with this project is offer a specific service. For example, I'll go out to Amazon and I'll look at a knife that's got a lot of reviews, such as a few of these Grandway blades. And then I go out to YouTube and see if there's any reviews on that particular product. If there's not, I'm typically more drawn to do a review, because I was looking for a review and I couldn't find one. So there's typically a couple of things I look for. If I see a budget blade on Amazon that's had a lot of reviews and it looks like it's been purchased a lot, but there's no YouTube review, well, I want to do a YouTube review. I also like to pay attention to budget blades that I think will do well, that have just been released recently and haven't had many reviews, because I'm thinking a lot of people are going to find out about this blade and they're going to want to know more about it. So the knife we're going to be looking at today from Grandway's a big old stocky fixed blade that caught my attention in the last couple of weeks. The design in and of itself was enough to draw me in. Very simplistic, but it looks strong. Let's take a look at this blade here. Now, right off the bat, you know I love the stone wash. If you've been watching my videos, you know I love stone wash blades. And right off the bat too, I like how the tang goes all the way through the knife like this. And it's evident what you get. Here's the sheath that it comes with. You know, yeah, it's got some rattle. I know some people don't like that. I really don't care that much. I think it does well for what it is. And it also comes with this strap. You can use this for a lot of different things, hooking it to things and all of that. So this is $13.59 on Amazon right now, and I don't think you're gonna find a beefier fixed blade option on Amazon as it stands right now. It's a whopping 10.6 inches in length, and it's 7.3 ounces, so you've got some weight there. The blade is 4 millimeters thick with a length of 5.9 inches. This handle is a non-slip black elastron plastic. I love the way this material feels. Very good ergonomics. And they always go with 440C steel, which is a good budget steel. 440C is known for taking an edge and keeping an edge, but it's not known as the toughest steel. And when it comes to steel, you just have to determine what you're going to use the knife for. Another thing that's really cool about this knife is it's got a subtle kukri look to it. One thing I will say though is this did not come sharp out of the box. Here's my paper tip. I was able to do some paper cutting the second time around, but it's still going to need a lot of work. I gave that water bottle a pretty good lick, and it didn't slice it. So many of the knives that I have sliced, like the last Grandway knife that I reviewed was razor sharp, and it has stayed razor sharp, but this one for whatever reason is not. But you know what? You can put an edge on this pretty easily. And again, 13 bucks. You know, a blade like this is big and solid. You get a lot of leverage, and if you're one of those who likes to chop with a knife, I mean, once you put a good edge on it, I mean, you'll be able to do some good chopping with it. Good long blade for some good batoning. It's a little dull right now, so we're not going to even mess with a lot of feather sticking. Now, you know the knife thrower in me is getting excited because that test is coming next. I've handled a lot of blades, and I've thrown a lot of blades. I can already tell that I think I'm going to like throwing this a lot. I'm really hoping the handle will hold up to throwing. It seems to be molded on here very tightly. It's a full tang blade nonetheless, and I think this is going to be a blast to throw because it's got a good throwing weight to it. Let's do some throws. Did you just ask yourself, I wonder how well it no spins? Let's give it a shot. Let's do it one more time. We'll go 10 to 11 feet away. As you can see, I had a pretty hard miss there, which is good for the test because sometimes all it takes is one hit like that to loosen the handle on a knife. There's no looseness here. Sometimes throwing and sticking can create looseness on a knife if it's not built for that. Nothing will test the handle on a blade like throwing it. I mean, like, throwing is a lot of wear and tear on a blade, and it's really awesome when you can find a knife like this that you can throw and it won't fall apart. I can't even say the same about the cold steel knives. If you're throwing an SRK or a Recon Tanto or even the Kobun, you will loosen the handle if you're throwing it. Just the way the over molded handle works, you will loosen it. But I don't know. I want to throw this some more and see what we're working with. That last throw was a half spin throw. Those things always hit really hard. Look at this. Do some tip abuse. This part's always kind of cringy for me because if it's cheap or cheap enough, this will get you. All right, let's give the tip a pass. So after the throw-in, do we got any looseness? And maybe just a small amount right here at the top. It'll get loose sometime right there at the top if you're throwing it, but it's not loose enough to make a big deal. It's not as loose as some of those cold steel blades can get with their handle. So this is, firmly attached on here really good. I don't see it getting much worse, if any, than this right here. The tip is held up after the throwing and the stabbing into the ply board. So that's solid. I'll give you something else to think about. With this being so inexpensive, this would be a great first thrower for someone. When it comes to throwing knives, you need stuff that you can abuse. You need stuff that you're not worried about getting dirty and dented up and beat up. Something like this is great. I would have loved to have had this when I first started throwing. I was going out and buying these little 3-packs of these little flimsy throwing knives. It took me forever to progress because I didn't realize how important weight was, when getting into knife throwing. And something like this is so inexpensive, and maybe this doesn't, fit the bill for you concerning like bushcrafting or defense or just anything like that. But as inexpensive as this is fun to just buy 2 or 3 of these and then go out and throw them. But it's my personal opinion that for the price, this is a great budget knife, with the exception of maybe needing to put a little bit more of an edge on it. I think it would do great in the bush, in defense. And on top of all of that, it's just fun to get blades like this that you can beat the crap out of and not think anything of it. And what's ironic is some of the most enjoyable things in life are things like this that we consider expendable. As far as combat is concerned, I think it's a solid combat knife. A lot of people don't like there not being guards right here, but with this anti-slip rubberized grip type handle and that rubber jimping right there, you can get a nice firm feel on this anti-slip grip. And I've always said before, if you turn it upside down, let your thumb be the brace. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I've got another Grandway knife to review in the next week or so that I think you're going to find very interesting, that a lot of people like. It's popular. People have done modifications to that blade. It has a lot of reviews on Amazon, and I'm going to be doing, I think, the first YouTube review on that one as well, except for what Grandway has put out. At this price, I'm just not finding anybody to compete with what they are putting out, and that's what's so interesting about reviewing their blades. And they are inexpensive, they're good looking, they're sturdy, weighty, and very useful. So thanks so much for watching. Take care.